Hey, what's up, you guys? It's me, Eclectic Witch, Psychic Medium Natasha. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new to this channel, hello and welcome. Today I'm doing a video on a very special topic for me. It's something I'm very fond of. I can literally speak about this for hours, but let's not do that in today's video. Today's video, as you can see, is about astral projection, astral travel. I wanted to talk to you guys about my personal experience with it. What is astral travel? How do you do it? And what are some things you can accomplish through astral projection, astral travel? So, in my own words, astral travel, astral projection is basically an out-of-body experience. What I mean by that is that your consciousness leaves your physical body and is wandering around doing whatever ye will, is what we should say. So, in my own words, how do you astral travel? How do you astral project? So, there's a ton of resources online, like blogs, books, and whatnot, videos on how you astral travel, astral project. But I just want to share my own words. Because a little backtrack is I learned at a very young age that I could astral project. It was just a natural gift of mine at 10 years old, believe it or not. And at that time, I loved it. It was very cool to me. It was fun. But it wasn't until I got older till I realized, there's ways to go about it. There's ways to protect yourself. There's ways to be able to do astral projection, astral travel by sheer will, by you choosing when to do it. Because at the time when I started, it was just a natural gift. It would just happen when I was just young, whenever I went to sleep. So while everyone was worrying about grades and boys and stuff like that, I was worried about, I hope I don't astral project at the wrong time, because that did happen to me until I learned how to do it on my own by sheer will instead of waiting until I went to sleep, which we'll get more into that. So with that being said, how do you astral project? So I'm just going to give it in my own words, because there's many techniques out there. You're welcome to go ahead and look at it, but the basic gist, no fluff, the basic, what it comes down to is that when you astral travel, astral project, you want to basically allow your body to become very relaxed to the point to where it's practically asleep. Your body is asleep, but your conscious mind is awake. That is the true get down of it all. And for beginners, I like to say that it's best to try astral projection when you first wake up in the morning. I only say this because a lot of people that I end up trying to teach or, explain to them how to do this, they try to do it at night, but then they end up physically falling asleep. So in the morning when you wake up, you're already, half awake, half asleep, which is the ideal state you want to be. So that's why I say the morning is the best time. So, okay, so let's say you're trying this, right? You're at home, laying down in the bed, and you're undisturbed. It's a clean, quiet place, So you want to lay down, close your eyes, and start to focus on your feet. Allow your feet to become completely relaxed and allow it to slowly go numb. Allow this to go with every limb and part of your body, your legs, your arms, your torso, your head, neck. You want to get to the point to where your body is basically asleep. It's very relaxed. And then you're on the brink of astral projection when your body's finally asleep but your mind's awake, and you feel this vibration take over you. It feels literally like you're vibrating, and then right after the vibrational state that you go in is when you astral project. Now, some people like to accomplish astral projection, astral travel also through meditation, and that's perfectly fine. Some people like to do it while their physical body's asleep or in a deep state of meditation. It's, whatever works right for you. There's no wrong way of doing it, I would like to say. So whatever works for you. because I know people that do astral projection while they meditate, and it works perfectly fine for them. The basic gist is that you want your body to be completely relaxed and keep your conscious mind awake. So whatever works for you is fine. Now, when you astral project, I want to say a few things. Okay, now, when you astral project, your consciousness, when it leaves your body, is technically called your astral body or your etheric body. Now, this astral body or etheric body is physically invisible to the naked eye, unless you're, of course, clairvoyant like me. Now, it can be seen through some sensitive individuals like myself, and some may report that it's connected to the silver body by a silver cord. Now, that's what I'm going to say next. When you finally do achieve astral projection and you wish to astral travel, when you do finally get to the point that that your consciousness or your astral body or your etheric body leaves your physical body, you will notice that you are connected to what I like to refer as a silver umbilical cord. Now, I say that because basically this silver cord, this etheric cord, is the metaphysical link that connects your astral body or your etheric body to your physical body. Now, no matter how far you travel, you go, whatever, you can never be lost. You can never be severed by this cord. The only way you could ever really be severed by this cord is if your physical body dies while you're in astral travel. Now, that is very rare, you know what I mean? Like, that's a very unlikely thing to happen, but it's something I will disclose. Now, this cord cannot be broken. It will always lead you back to your physical body, no matter how far you've traveled or what happens in your journey. You just simply, if you ever want to go back to your body, but you're so far away, you just simply think of your physical body and it will lead you straight back. Okay? Now, I want to talk about the fun part, which is the things that you can accomplish while you are in astral travel on the astral plane. Now, once you are projected, the astral body is able to travel through the astral plane, an energetic plane of existence that overlaps our own, sort of like a parallel. On this plane, the traveler may wish to explore the physical world or visit other worlds, other dimensions. Now, I will talk about going on journey. So, the traveler or the journeyer can travel through the astral plane to different physical locations in our world, this world, Earth. Some say this sort of travel does not actually take place on the astral plane, but on the physical plane, just simply in astral form. Time does not exist in the astral plane as it does in the physical one. Many astral travelers choose to explore additional worlds to our own while in the astral state. Now, how many of these worlds there really are is more of a matter of debate that differs very widely between traditions and cultures, but it seems clear that there are definitely planes that overlap one another over the physical plane. In shamanism, we believe that there is a lower world, a middle world, and a higher upper world. So it just really depends on what you believe and what you perceive to be real. Because in my personal experience, I definitely will say that there's many different planes of existences. But in order to go to the upper world, I would say you have to be at a certain vibration to match that frequency to travel there. Which basically means that, you know, if your physical body is sick and your chakra channels are not balanced or activated, you know, like you're not energetically where you're supposed to be, it's going to be very hard to be able to reach the upper world. Now, if you are, I'm trying to explain this. I guess this is more of a topic for another time. I don't want to waste the whole time on this, but there's different dimensions, different planes, and you can achieve traveling through them through astral projection. And how many dimensions there are, some say there's 13. If you believe in shamanism, there's really 3 worlds or dimensional planes. It just really is a matter of debate. But I like to believe a mix of the two. I believe there are many infinite planes, but I believe that they're kind of compressed into the 3 shamanic worlds, as I would say. Now, something else you can accomplish through astral projection, astral travel, is achieving enlightenment. Now, it is said that by some that the Akashic records can be accessed through astral projection, which I have accomplished and tried. Now, many paths consider astral projection as a step towards enlightenment or the part of the great work. This can be achieved through conversations with beings contacted on the astral plane, such as your ancestors or your spirit guides, power totem animals, archangels, ancestors, and through the insights gained through observations and experiments performed on the astral plane, that could be difficult or even impossible on the physical plane. So you can achieve enlightenment through conversations, what you observe, doing experiments, all on the astral plane through connecting with your guides or your other helper spirit allies, as I like to call it. Now, this is something that is really fun that I'm like beaming with joy, which is called building an astral temple, which I feel like is not said enough or explained enough. So if you spend a lot of time on the astral plane, you may wish to create your own place to relax or to worship, to cast spells, perform divination, entertain guests, or simply just to serve as a home base. This place is essentially your astral temple or your astral garden. And an astral temple doesn't exactly have to look like a temple per se. It can look and function however you want it. My actual astral temple is 3 places that I kind of jump together. It's 3 places that is combined from my past lives, including this and in this life. So my astral temple doesn't look like a temple. It's simply like there's a walking stone path into a cave. And then right next to this cave, there's a big tree that goes high up over, that just goes infinitely beyond, which I believe is like my connection to the upper world or the higher dimensions. Like sort of like my tree of life. And then after all that 360 view, or 180 view is a beach, which is what I'm connected to in this life. And it's all 3 components. Like it's like my 3 favorite places. So 2 from past life and 1 from this life. And it's my home. I go there first whenever I astral travel or journey. And I just love it so much. So now let's talk about performing magic on the astral plane, So there are many advantages for performing magic on the astral plane versus the physical plane because the astral plane lacks certain limits than the physical plane, imposes on the practitioner. So when you're performing healing magic on the astral plane, one can travel to the patient or, your specific target for healing. And even if they're very far away, you can visit them. That's something you can't exactly do in the physical realm. As an astral, in your astral body, you will see the patient's body and be able to more easily identify the sources of disease and address them directly. Now, in astral state, it's also very easy to see the connections between people, places, and objects, and strengthen them, weaken them, or sever these connections as necessary for the well-being of the patient. Now, some harmful energies from the past, especially in relationships, can linger, and severing these connections, like etheric cords, can bring great relief. Now let's talk about dream walking. So dream walking in astral state, it's Also possible to enter someone's dreams for a visit or to maybe put an idea in their head. But you need to keep in mind that entering someone else's dreams without permission is not recommended. It is morally problematic. Visiting someone's dream space, however, is also a fun way to keep in touch over. But you have to keep in mind, sorry for my language, it's basically mind rape without, permission. Now let's talk about astral magic. So of course you may also choose to perform spells or ceremonial magic on the astral plane as well. Many people like to use their astral temple this way, which I do. I like to keep a altar by my world tree in my astral temple. Now, if you keep your astral temple well tended, it's always a sacred space, therefore it's always ready for ceremony. All the tools that you will ever need, you can just conjure them up with a thought. That's the best thing about the astral plane. People are like, well, how do I do spells and magic if I want to? Just simply think of what tool, what herb, or whatever you may need for your spell or, magic ritual, whatever. Just simply picture it in your mind and poof, it manifests, which is amazing. Now, I want to talk about astral allies and correspondences to astral travel. What I mean by spirit allies is that these are the spirits that you can connect to that is for your highest good, that want to help you. They're your friends, they're your allies. And what I mean by that is that these are your spirit guides, your angels or possibly archangels. They're your animal totem spirits or your power totem animals. Deities, your gods and goddesses, ascended masters, ancestors, These are all spirit allies that you can call to or summon or bring with you to call for counsel, help, empowerment, whatever you need on the astral plane. Now, some herbs and some things you may hear of when related to astral travel and projection is flying ointments and salves, using purple and indigo violet gemstones like amethyst will help you astral travel. I used to wear an amethyst and silver necklace pendant when I astral traveled beforehand, and it helped me a lot. So I just want to give you guys that tip. And some people say hallucinogens help them with astral travel, but in my personal experience and with some people, it helped some people and some other people it didn't. For me, it did not help me at all. I like to be in full control of my mind when I astral travel, so that was not working with me. But yeah. So now I think it's very important that we talk for a short moment about safety during astral projection. So I just want you to know that there is no real danger that you can get lost or that you will, not be able to return your body. There's no danger that someone else will enter your body while you are out. It is your consciousness that is leaving. Many people like to cast a magic circle of protection around themselves before beginning their astral travel, and for comfort as well. So if that's what feels right, go for it, because I definitely had to cast a circle multiple times as a routine, basically, to astral project in the beginning, but only because I knew I was exposed to a hazardous environment spiritually to astral project. I had to cast a circle to basically protect myself against other spirits in the house that wanted to hurt my physical body while I was astral traveling. So that's why I did it, but it just worked for me, and I just want to get that out there for other people too. Now I want you to understand that you may enter some unpleasant individuals on the astral plane. You have to keep in mind that the astral plane in that aspect is similar to ours. There are good and bad people and people in between. It's the same aspect in the astral plane, but on the astral plane, you have more power than you do on the physical plane, because anything that you need, you can conjure up like a shield, a weapon, or even ninja skills, or you can cast a magic circle that they can't cross into, you know? If you are in your astral temple, you are safe. It is yours and only yours. Build of and align to your energy. So if you are truly worried about astral travel, please consider those safety tips. You know, you also want to keep in mind that whatever your vibration is, it's going to attract that as well on the astral plane. It's just an energetic law that's it's a universal law, I would say, because even on other dimensional planes, whatever your energy is, you can simply attract. So if my energy was very bad and low, you could essentially attract evil spirits to you. But you just have to keep in mind, like I said, you know, there's ways of protection, so keep those in mind. And you can also call on your spirit allies. And a little also a known fact is that when your astral body, your etheric body, is exactly 1 octave higher in frequency than your physical body. So that's all the information I have on astral projection, astral travel. I hope this video wasn't too long for you guys, but it's such like a near dear topic for me. I can literally talk about it forever. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to comment down below. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you guys for watching. Safe travels, witches.